All right, so the Eagles, how are we gonna look this year? I for one am a little bit nervous. I think I am excited. I think let me start from there. To be accurate, fully accurate, I am very excited about all the offseason moves. I think we're heading in a good direction. I think it's gonna be definitely a fun rest of the offseason, fun beginning to the year, hopefully. But the way last year ended definitely brings in some nerves that I think cannot be ignored whatsoever. So yeah, hopefully that we can kind of shake off how last year ended. But yeah, mainly gonna get into talking about the coach, Nick Siriani, mainly in this video. And yeah, how I see our season shaping, things I'm nervous about, things I'm excited about, yeah, all the things in between. Yeah, so like I said, very excited but a little bit nervous. In no way am I predicting the Eagles to be bad in any way. But I think the way last year ended is very, very nervous. I think the last time all the pressure and the eyes was on us, that was last year, and we saw exactly how it went. As soon as it started to go bad, it just kept snowballing in that direction, and we never really were able to get back to any kind of form of success. I think my main question mark left from that season was very much so on Nick Sirianni. I think he's definitely a good coach, but I think he clearly drowned last year. The team was drowning, he was drowning, and there wasn't even a point where it looked like we even like came up for air. I don't like we just were underwater. We couldn't get anything rolling from us. And I think it's important to understand like no matter what that the way last season ended has to be addressed, and signing Saquon Barkley isn't the way to address that. That's a great move, but I think there are certain aspects of just this team and our coaching structure, just the overall structure that went wrong that just signing great players won't fix. Again, don't get me wrong, I would sign Saquon Barkley 10 out of 10 times. This has nothing to do with the signing of him. That was an amazing move. All has to do with just my question marks on the surrounding pieces of the organization, really. I think we definitely have the pieces, barring some positions, to really make a great push. I think definitely it's very fair for us to have the Super Bowl be our goal this year, but that definitely comes with a lot of pressure that one, not every player in the room is used to. We bring in a lot of players from different teams. They're not necessarily used to the pressure that comes with being an Eagle, so that's also an aspect to kind of keep around and in your mind. But the main thing is Nick Sirianni has to kind of instill a championship standard. I think we saw us reach the championship, but this last year was kind of a chance for Nick to kind of prove that he kind of had a championship, quote unquote, championship mentality, or just a standard of quality instilled in the team. I think we took the Super Bowl season as that being the case, but we saw kind of in the following year how when things started to go bad, they just snowballed straight off a cliff. Like it was really, really bad. And I think it's really important like how that first year we saw Nick being this free will, free guy, just player first, cracking jokes and press conferences, and it kind of as the season waned and as things got bad, we saw less and less of that from him. And I think again, it's important to note like we're starting this year from wherever we ended last year. Like we really need to have that mindset that all like whatever went wrong needs to be brought to the light and thrown out the building because we can't we can't risk those same things happening again this year. And I think coming into this year, through the off-season moves, I think there was a quick, I don't know how quick it was. There was a moment where there was questions around, will Nick Sirianni be our coach? It turned out obviously that the Lurie and how we decided to continue with him as a coach. And I think the way that we are continue doing it is a little bit weird. I know we've seen it done in the league before of having Nick not really lead one side of the ball directly. I think that's kind of the trend in the league that has shown to work, and we are kind of straying away from that. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but I think it definitely comes with just certain watch outs, just things to be wary about, and just awkward ways to judge Nick Siriani. I think if anything this year we needed to really a way to really clearly assess Nick's ability to coach a team and exactly where he will affect our team in positive ways. But I think like obviously he's going to be subjected more than just overseeing role and just expediting the offense and defense and quality controlling it. Like if he's going to be a Gordon Ramsay just kind of expediting the thing, like I don't know. I think it has to be perfect if that's the role we're going to be, or else what's really the need to have a head coach that really treats the role in that way. I think there are ways it can work. I think it will allow him to really like lean into that player coach kind of way of going about things that he likes, but kind of when it comes to the X and O's, it's kind of really awkward to judge him now. So like at a superficial official level, like thinking about game day, so like fourth down conversions, timeouts, like all that stuff now, like literally, like is gonna have to be like it's on him. Like that's like his roles have been limited, not to this, but they have been limited as a whole. And yeah, it's just gonna be very interesting to see how when mistakes are made on a fourth down, when maybe he misses a timeout, should have called the timeout play earlier. Messes with a 2 minute situation, like things like that. If he makes one mistake in those situations, it's gonna be very much so heightened. And now that he can't really hang his hat on either side of the ball. It's like when these mistakes happen, it's gonna be extremely frustrated and like questions are gonna be asked. Like fans are gonna want to know what he is bringing like to the room and exactly is his role and responsibility with the team. I think having the role in this way can lead to confusion, and I don't think it's his responsibility, the team's responsibility to like explain. Like obviously we're just fans, and obviously our role stops at somewhere, but eventually it's gonna get awkward. Like just figuring out like what exactly like his role is. Like we like what exactly is Nick Sirianni doing? Obviously, we know he plays an important role with the team. Like he plays the most important role with the team. But exactly how is he going about that with the X's and O's day in and day out, and how is he gonna be affecting this team on the field properly? I think he's gonna have a very short leash. I think that's kind of been made obvious. We have two coordinators who definitely have head coaching capabilities. I personally would trust them both. I wouldn't know if I would select them to be our head coach if we had a pool of them, but if they're in the building, they're definitely quality options to have. So it's definitely like very interesting just to see like exactly what Nick Sirianni how he's gonna handle this role. How publicly is he gonna show like what exactly he does? Because there's gonna be frustrations and misunderstandings drawn. I'm sure I've even shown misunderstandings in this video of what is, and I think that's kind of just the point. I think there's gonna be an inability to judge him correctly, maybe even fairly, but it almost seems like he kind of created this role for himself. I think he definitely was pressured into bringing in better coordinators than last year that will make an effect. I don't think it's necessarily in terms of career path a smart move to bring in two coordinators that can become head coaches. I think that might have not been what Nick necessarily wanted, but to save his job, he had to show that he could bring in the coordinators that pleased Howie and Jeff Lurie, and it turns out he was able to do this. So now here we are with very big expectations. Don't really know how we're judging this coach. Does he have to get to the Super Bowl? Does he have to get to the conference champion? Like what are like what do we want from him? What I'm not gonna do this year, what I'm absolutely am not doing this year is having Nick. We're gonna be in week 7. It's week 7. Nick says, "Oh, I'm unhappy with the offense. I'm gonna step up. I'm gonna step in." No, 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 no. We decided this is how we're playing the role. If this year is not gonna go well, we need to figure out a way without him. I think this is how, this is kind of the way we've decided to go about it. Nick accepted it, probably even kind of created it. So gonna have to see how it goes. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys today on the Eagles. Gonna keep things rolling with talking about my teams, and definitely gonna get into some general news on sports, entertainment, and yeah, all that good stuff. Let me know your thoughts on the Eagles. Do you think we're gonna win the Super Bowl? If not, where are we gonna finish? Yeah, let me know in the comments below. Talk to you guys in a bit.